Baseman Max Steinhorn as the Amherst Mammoths come to bat here in the top of the first inning. Steinhorn from Washington, D.C. is a junior. And first pitch is down low. Next pitch in is down low. Ball 2 to Max Steinhorn. Harry Roberson, the shortstop, on deck. Just on our way here from the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College. Next one is swung on and fouled off. Steinhorn, a right-handed batter. And the next pitch in is swung on, and that is strike 3. The count was 1 ball and 2 strikes. So first strikeout for DePauli. That brings up Harry Roberson, the shortstop. Roberson's a junior from Arlington, Massachusetts. So 1 down, nobody on here at the top of the first inning. And the pitch by DePauli. DePauli is down low for ball 1 to Harry Roberson. This one swung on and hit out to left field, and coming in with a great catch there is Morris for out number 1. Robert Morris had to come in on that ball and dove for it, made a good catch, so there's 2 outs. Brings up Yanni Thanopoulos, the center fielder. Thanopoulos is a senior from Highland, California. So 2 out, nobody on here, top of the first inning. And next pitch in for, or first pitch to Thanopoulos is down low for ball 1. Paulie back on the mound. A little timeout here. And Thanopoulos back in. And the pitch from DePauli. That's high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Thanopoulos. Anthony Spina, designated hitter, waits on deck for Amherst. Next pitch in is in there for call strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Thanopoulos. As the sun starts to peek through the overcast here. Swung on. This one's popped up foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway here, top of the first inning. And the next pitch from DePauli is swung on and fouled off to the first base side. Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Thanopoulos. DePauli already with 1 strikeout. And the next pitch is swung on down to third base. Stopped there by Dean Rosenberg over to first base, and a side retire. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We played a half an inning. It's Amherst nothing. Hamilton coming to bat here on NSN. And Gene Conti back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton Field. Continentals coming up for their first at-bats. Starting pitcher for Amherst, number 19, Drew Fisher, the junior from Winnetka, Illinois. It'll be Collins, and Wolfsburg up for the Continentals here in the top of the first inning. Hardin's in right field, Thanopoulos in center, and Kenny is in left field for Amherst. Henley at first, Steinhorn at second, Nardin at third, and Roberson's the shortstop for the Mammoths. Fisher on the mound, and catcher is Tachi. And here is Chris Collins to lead off for the Continentals. First pitch to Collins, and that one's down low for ball one. Chris Collins, of course, is the brother of Kenny Collins. They're both seniors. They're both from Weston, Connecticut. And as you can assume, they are twin brothers. Next pitch in is a call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fisher already into his set, and the pitch. That one bounces in for ball 2. As Tachi throws it back in. Kenny Collins on deck for the Continentals. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch swung on and missed. It's 2-2 to Chris Collins. He gets on base. He can steal. He is quick. And that one just a bit outside. Fisher certainly wanted that one. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Collins. Working fast is Fisher. Swung on and hit out to right field, center field, and there's a base hit for Collins. So Chris Collins is on with the first hit of the afternoon. A sharp single to center field. Here comes number 3, Kenny Collins, playing center field for the Continentals this afternoon, with his brother on first base and always a threat to steal. Are both of the Collinses. Kenny's a left-handed batter. First pitch is up there for ball 1. It's a nice warm day. It's about 60 degrees here at game time. Fisher's ready, and the pitch. That one high and tight. They throw it on to second base, and he's out! So Chris Collins is gunned out at second base. I don't know if the shortstop made the play. It was Roberson. And there's one down. So the base runner eliminated. Chris Collins does not get caught stealing very much. That one is a call strike. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Kenny Collins. Next pitch in, right down the middle for call, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kenny Collins. Ryan Wolfsburg waits on deck for the Continentals. Next pitch by Fisher is a little outside. So that's full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kenny Collins. Doubleheader tomorrow at noon right here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex. And the pitch. Call strike 3. So it gets Kenny Collins looking, and there's 2 outs, and brings up Ryan Wolfsburg, the right fielder. Wolfsburg is a senior from Lincoln, Massachusetts. 2 out, nobody on here. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Amherst and the Continentals, and the pitch is ball 1 to Ryan Wolfsburg. 330 down the lines. 400 to dead center, 375 in the gaps. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Wolfsburg. Pitch by Fisher. Off speed pitch comes in a little high. 2 balls, 1 strike. First baseman Andrew Hauser awaits his turn on deck. Fisher's ready to pitch. And that one's a little bit inside. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Ryan Wolfsburg. Chris Collins reached on a single, was thrown out at second trying to steal. Next pitch in is low, and they're going to go down to the first base umpire, but he says it is ball 4. So a walk worked out by Ryan Wolfsburg. Brings up Andrew Hauser, the first baseman. Hauser's a senior from Newton, Massachusetts. Fisher gets a sign from Tachi. And the pitch. And that one is down low for ball 1. Fisher, quick worker on the mound. Next pitch in. Swung on and missed there by Hauser. 1 ball and 1 strike as Wolfsburg takes a short lead off first. Couple of steps off. Fisher looks over. And the pitch. And that one out of the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hauser. Brett Mealy, the catcher, on deck. And the pitch. And that one is low. Actually in there for a call strike. I can't see the umpire if he were so far out in right center or left center field. Unless that umpire raises his hand high up in the sky, I can't see him. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hauser. And the pitch in there for a call, strike 3. So in the inning, 2 strikeouts for Fisher. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We played 1 full inning. Hamilton and Amherst are scoreless here on NSN. Back here on NSN for NESCAC baseball this afternoon between the Continentals of Hamilton College and the visitors, the Mammoths from Amherst College. Continentals went 1-2-3, or actually Amherst went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. They'll bring up Anthony Spina, Nick Nardin, and Aroli Kenny this inning. First up will be number 16, Anthony Spina, senior outfielder from Brooklyn, New York. But he is the designated hitter for today's game for Amherst. Warm-up pitchers all set, and Spina will step in. So Dan DePauli, 1 strikeout there in the first inning. And the first pitch to Spina is in there for call strike 1. Next pitch in is down in the dirt. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Spina. The Mammoths had one 4 straight before dropping a 4-1 decision to Salve Regina. Amherst leads the NESCAC in batting with a .330 average, slugging percentage .453, and steals with 36, while ranking second with 12 home runs. And the next pitch in is swung on. That's fouled off. Catcher picks it up, throws the first for out number 2, or out number 1. We'll bring up Nick Nardin, the third baseman. He's a sophomore from Fairfield, Connecticut. And first pitch in for a strike 1. Next pitch in. And that one's a low ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Nardin at the plate. And the pitch by DePaulis is hit down to third base. Rosenberg over to Hauser for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the second. That'll bring up Arioli Kenny, the left fielder. The junior from Chula Vista, California. First pitch is strike 1 to Kenny. Patrolling left field for the Mammoths this afternoon. That one is in there for call strike 2 to Kenny. So Dan DePauli, is working quickly as well on the mound. And the pitch is swung on and hammered out to left field, but this one goes foul. Count remains 0-2 to Kenny. A breeze blowing right across the field here. That one's swank 3 call. Swing and strike. And the second strikeout there for DePauli. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Go to the bottom of the second, no score here on NSN. Drew Fisher ready for his second inning of work for the Amherst College Mammoths. No score here as we reach the bottom of the second inning. Brett Mealy, Jordan Northrup, and Ian Nish do up this inning. The catcher, Mealy, number 5. Senior catcher from Ringo's, New Jersey. And the pitch is ball 1 to Mealy. Next pitch by Fisher. And that one down low. 2 balls, no strike to Brett Mealy. Jordan Northrup, the second baseman, on deck. 1 hit in the game so far belongs to the Continentals. Chris Collins with a base hit, but he was thrown out at second base trying to steal. 2 balls and 1 strike, the pitch. And that one down low, 3 balls, 1 strike to Mealy. Continental's overall 11-12 record, 0-5 in the NESCAC West Division. And ball 4 as Mealy works out the walk.
Now batting for Hamilton, the second baseman, number 15, Jordan Northrup.
Comes Jordan Northrup, second baseman. Sophomore from Clarksville, Maryland. So Drew Fisher, with his second walk of the game. And the pitch to Northrup is ball 1. Mealy takes a short lead off first base. And the pitch. And that one was low. 2 balls, no strikes to Northrup. Shortstop Roberson coming in to say something to Fisher. And Fisher's ready with the pitch. That's in there for call strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch. Swung on and missed. That leaving up the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes to Northrup. Mealy worked out a walk. He's at first. Nobody out. Here in the bottom of the second. No score. And the next pitch in is outside. And it is a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Northrup. The next pitch by Fisher. Swung on. And that one's fouled off. Mealy again with a short lead off of first base. Fisher into the windup, and that one's high. And another walk.
Now batting for Hamilton, the designated hitter, number 32, Ian Nish.
Here comes the DH today, Ian Nish. Nish is a sophomore from Chautauqua, New York. Last time Nish played here was walk-up music. It was the Empire theme from Star Wars. But no walk-up music today. Mealy on second, taking a long, big lead out there now. First pitch in, strike 1 to Nish. So Mealy on second, Northrup at first. Both worked out walks. Pitch by Fisher is swung on and missed by Nish. No balls and 2 strikes. As the sun peeks out from the overcast. Supposed to be a nice day tomorrow for the doubleheader starting at noon. Also men's lacrosse here tomorrow at Steuben Field. And the pitch. That one bounces away off the glove. And the runners will advance to second and third base. So Tachi thought he had it. It bounced off his mitt and back to the screen. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Nish. As Mealy goes down to third base and Northrup to second. A little wild pitch by Fisher. As Nish is back in the box. And here is the pitch from Fisher. Swung on and missed. And Nish is down on strikes. That'll bring up the third baseman, Dean Rosenberg. Rosenberg is a junior from Chappaqua, New York. Second and third, 2 men out, or 1 man out here in the bottom of the second, and the pitch to Rosenberg in there for a call strike. Fisher working quickly, and the pitch is swung on, hit out to center field. Vanopoulos under it makes the catch. The throw goes to third base. As scoring was Mealy from third base. So a run batted in for Rosenberg, and the Continentals lead 1-0. Brings up the left fielder, Robert Morris, senior from Riverside, Connecticut. So Continentals lead 1-0. Northrup still at second base. And the first pitch to Robert Morris. Call strike one. So 2 outs now. 1 run in for the Continentals. They still have only 1 hit, and that came back in the first inning. Next pitch by Drew Fisher is swung on, and this one is fouled back into the tailgaters. Save the grill. Morris is ready. And pitch by Fisher is swung on and missed, strike 3. 1 run, no hits. No errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We played 2. It's the Continentals 1 and Amherst nothing here on NSN. Gene Conti back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Single game today, doubleheader tomorrow at noon right here between these 2 clubs. Amherst has a 4-2 NESCAC record in the West Division. And they will send Chase Henley, Servino Tachi, and Ryan Harden to the plate. So far, pitcher Dan DePauli has relieved 6 in a row. Here's Chase Henley. Henley is a sophomore from Pleasanton, California. And the pitch by DePauli is in there for call strike 1. DePauli is already set, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Officially 3 strikeouts for DePauli. And the pitch is a little high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch by DePauli is swung on a miss, strike 3. 7 in a row retired by DePauli. Severino Tachi, the catcher up for the Mammoths. Severino is a first-year player from Weston, Massachusetts. And pitch by DePauli. A little outside, ball 1 to Tachi. And the next pitch, that bounces in for ball 2. Both pitchers working extremely quickly. Every once in a while, a player will step out, as Tachi just did, and step right back in. And the pitch, and that one is high. So 3 balls and no strikes to Tachi. Here's the pitch by DePauli. And that went in for call strike one. Taken all the way was Tachi. 3-1. One out, nobody on. Top of the third inning. Pitch is swung on and fouled back. So count full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. DePauli ready. Gets a sign from Mealy. And the pitch is swung on, hit out to center field. Racing in is Collins and makes the catch. That was up there for a long time.
Now batting for Amherst, the left fielder, number 12, Ryan Harden.
Right fielder Ryan Harden, number 12 up now. Harden Jr. from Riverside, Connecticut. 8 set down in a row by Dan DePauli, and the pitch, and that one in for a call, strike one. Next pitch to Harden. That one in for call, strike two. Never seen an umpire give no indication. If he is, he's really soft-hearted about it. Doesn't yell, doesn't gyrate. And the next pitch swung on and hit up to the first base side. That one's out of play. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Harden. 4 strikeouts so far for DePauli. Averages about 8 in about 7 innings. And the next pitch is swung on and hit down to shortstop. Fire over to Hauser, a little high, and he's safe.
Now batting for Amherst, the second baseman, number 1, Max Steinhorn.
So Collins over on short, Chris Collins, threw a little high to Hauser, and that's an error they charged to the shortstop. As we go back to the top of the order for Max Steinhorn, struck out in the first inning. So Amherst with a base runner, 2 outs here. And the pitch to Steinhorn. Now he's going down to first base, second base. They throw over, and he is safe, they say. Took a while for the umpire to make a decision, but Harden steals second base. He wanted to make sure that Northrup held on to the ball. Apparently he did, and it was a good throw by Mealy. So now the Mammoths have a runner in scoring position. 2 balls and no strikes to Max Steinhorn. And the pitch count reads on the scoreboard is 2 balls and no strikes. The next pitch is swung on. This one out to right field. Coming in is Wolfsburg to make the catch. So the side is retired. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's the Continentals 1 and Amherst nothing here on NSN. Gene Conti back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College. 1-0 Continentals lead. Bottom of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order again for Hamilton. Chris Collins, Kenny Collins, and Ryan Wolfsburg due up this inning as Drew Fisher gets ready on the mound for his third inning of work. Tachi throws down to second base. And here comes Chris Collins, who has the only hit in the game so far. He singled back in the first inning to lead things off. And surprisingly to me, he was caught stealing because he is one of the quickest men in the NESCAC. And the pitch, that one's in for a ball one. Went down a little low. Drew Fisher and DePauli both quick on the mound, and the next pitch bounces in for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes to Collins. Kenny Collins is waiting on deck. And the next big pitch by Fisher again. It comes down and low. It's 3 balls and no strike. Last inning, Fisher walked 2 batters. Next pitch. That one in there for a call strike. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Chris Collins. Pitch. Swung on, hit out to center field. That drops in for a base hit. Collins going to second base, and he'll make it. Sliding in with a double. The center field Thanopoulos played the ball, but kind of nonchalantly. And Collins turned on the Jets, head to second base. That's his second hit of the game. Brings up his brother Kenny. Struck out looking back in the first inning. So in scoring position is Chris Collins at second base. And the pitch is bunted at, and this one fouled back to the screen. So the bunt put on by Coach Burns. Chris Collins will take a lead off of second base. And the pitch to Kenny is up high. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Kenny Collins. Chris Collins looked like an innocent single, and he did not stop as he rounded first base and headed to second for that double. Pitch by Fisher. Bunted in again. Nice bunt right in front of the plate. Fisher fields it, throws, and they got him at first base. Close play there.
Now batting for Hamilton, the right fielder, number 34, Ryan Wolfsburg.
So the sacrifice works as Chris Collins down to third base. Brings up Ryan Wolfsburg. He walked his first time up. The right fielder. He's put one out of the new Loop Road complex. I think he hit the first home run as a Continental here. There's the pitch is a curveball. That's ball 1, off-speed pitch. Next pitch is swung on and missed by Wolfsburg. Drew Fisher works fast, similar delivery. Both the off-speed and the curve and the fastball. And the pitch. That went in for call strike 2, so 1 ball, 2 strikes on Wolfsburg. Chris Collins at third base. 1 man out here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Continental's lead. They're knocking on the door for more. The pitch in. That one comes up a little short, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was that curveball that dropped in, but a little bit too short. Counts even at 2-2 on Wolfsburg. Hauser on deck for the Continentals. And the pitch. And that one down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Collins at third. 1 man out. And the pitch by Fisher swung on down to third base. They go home, and he is out at the plate. So Norden throws out Collins, and down to first base is Ryan Wolfsburg. So heads up play by Norden to go to home as Collins was streaking down the line. In a discussion there, make sure Collins is okay. After hearing catcher Tachi kind of came together there at home plate. There's 2 men out now with Wolfsburg at first. And their umpires congregating at home plate as well. And Collins will head back to the dugout.
Now batting for Hamilton, the first baseman, number 13, Andrew Hauser.
First baseman Andrew Hauser comes back up to the plate. Struck out his first time. So Wolfsburg down at first. And the pitch. And that one down low, ball 1 to Hauser. Brett Mealy hoping for a chance as he waits on deck. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Continentals lead. And a pitch to Hauser. And that one low. 2 balls, no strikes. Fisher already into the windup. The pitch is swung on and missed by Hauser. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the Continental first baseman. Fisher's ready, and the pitch. And that one in for strike 2. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 man on. Bottom of the 3rd. Pitch by Fisher. Upcoming, he's in the windup. The pitch down to shortstop. They'll toss to second base and get the force out. And the side is retired. So Roberson to Steinhorn covering. So no runs. There was 1 hit. No errors, and one man was left on base. We played 3. It's Hamilton 1, Amherst nothing here on NSN. Gene Conti here back on NSN for NESCAC Baseball. Amherst and the Hamilton College Continentals from the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex completed last fall. And you can bet the team loves their new home. Easy maintenance for the maintenance crew here, that's for sure. Dan DePauli back taking his warm-ups for inning number 4. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for Amherst. Harry Roberson, Yanni Thanopoulos, and Anthony Spina due up, with the Continentals up by a score of 1-0.
Leading off the inning for Amherst, the shortstop number 4, Harry Roberson.
Harry Roberson, shortstop. Flied out to left field his first time up. As everybody back to their infield positions. Collins back to short. And Dean Rosenberg over at third base. And Dan DePauli ready to pitch. First pitch in is low for ball 1. To Harry Roberson. Next pitch. That one down low, bounces in. 2 balls, no strikes. And the next pitch by DePauli is swung on, hit down to third base, but this one's going to go foul. So 2 balls and 1 strike now to Roberson. Yanni Thanopoulos waiting on deck for the Mammoths. Pitch by DePauli. And that one in for a call strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Very overcast now. And the pitch is swung on down to third base. And that one is a foul ball. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Harry Roberson, the Mammoth shortstop. DePauli will get the sign from Mealy. And the pitch, again down to third base. Rosenberg will gun to Hauser. Hauser with a stretch, and they got him. Nice play by Hauser.
Now batting for Amherst, the center fielder number 7, Yanni Thanopoulos.
Here's Yanni Thanopoulos. Now, Thanopoulos came into the game hitting .400, good for 4th in the NESCAC. He grounded out his first time up. As the chant of Yanni comes out from the Amherst dugout. First pitch bounces in for ball 1 from DePauli. Next pitch, swung on and missed. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Thanopoulos. Wasn't a bad day today after the rain stopped, just overcast, and we were hoping the sun would be popping out by now, but very overcast again. About 60 degrees, a little breeze blowing across the field. And the pitch is swung on. This one down to short. Collins will go to Hauser, and they get him. So 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. And the Mammoths will send up Anthony Spina. He's the designated hitter, one of the strikeout victims. His first time up back in the 2nd inning. Spina's ready to go. And the pitch by DePauli. That one's in for a call. Well, that's a ball. That's outside. I saw the arm go up. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I thought I missed 1 pitch in there, and I did. So it's 1-1. And the pitch is swung on down to third base, and that's foul just by an inch. So now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Spina. pitch. In there for a call. Strike three. They got him looking. 3 up and 3 down. We go down to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Continentals 1, Amherst Mammoths nothing here on NSN. And Gene Conti back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College. Tailgaters out and back of home plate, cooking up a storm out there. They just couldn't wait to break out the charcoal and got a good day to do it. Well, it's not perfect day, but it's an okay day. It's not raining. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, Continental's up 1-0. They'll send up Brett Mealy, Jordan Northrup, and Ian Nish. Brett Mealy walked his first time up. And the first pitch is called strike 1 from Dan Fisher. Sorry, Drew Fisher. I just put a D down. I keep calling him everything but his real name. Drew Fisher, the pitch. And that one is low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brett Mealy. And the pitch comes in. That one bounces in for ball 2. Bottom of the 4th, Continental's up 1-0. Swung on, and this one is fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mealy. Fisher looking in a sign from Tachi behind the plate. Fisher's ready to go. And the pitch swung on, hit right through the first and second baseman for a base hit. So Mealy's on with a single to start up the 4th inning. Bring up Jordan Northrup, the second baseman.
Now batting for Hamilton, the second baseman, number 15, Jordan Northrup.
He walked back in the 2nd inning as the Continentals built a run in that inning on no hits. But that was the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Continentals. Bunted down the first base line. Pitcher Fisher grabs it and throws to first base, and they got him. So the sacrifice works again for the Continentals.
Hamilton, the designated hitter, number 32, Ian Nish.
And down to second goes Brett Mealy. As Ian Nish comes to the plate with brand new walk-up music. Some Led Zeppelin. Nish, the designated hitter. Struck out his first time up. Mealy on second, taking a lead. The pitch is swung on and missed by Nish. Mealy singled. Over to second on the sacrifice by Northrup. And the pitch to Nish is down low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ian Nish. As Mealy takes his lead off of second base. And the pitch swung on. Back to the pitcher. They go to third base. They got him in a rundown. And now Mealy will try to head to third base, and he'll just get tagged out there. So heads up base running by Nish as he's down now to second base.
24, Dean Rosenberg.
So they get the lead runner, Mealy. But now they still have a man in scoring position. 2 outs now. As Nish is at second. And Dean Rosenberg at the plate. That one swung on and fouled off for strike 1. Fisher threw high to third base. And then they got Mealy in the rundown. And Mealy alertly ran at third base to get tagged out. So that's why Nish is at second base. Next one swung on and fouled back for strike 2. Rosenberg skied to center field. That drove in the run from third base back in the second inning. No balls and 2 strikes to Rosenberg. And the pitch. That one again swung on and fouled off. And back to second base goes Nish. Fisher's ready. He looks in. Nah, he steps off. There's Rosenberg out of the box as well. Rosenberg back in. And now Fisher is set. The pitch. In there for call, strike 3. So Rosenberg is down looking. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We completed 4. It's Hamilton 1, Amherst nothing here on NSN. And we move on to the top of the 5th inning. Continentals with a 1-0 lead. First game of a 3-game series. Single game here this afternoon. And doubleheader action tomorrow at noon right here from Loop Road. It'll be on NSN, of course. I will be at the men's lacrosse game against Trinity. And that game time, 1 o'clock also right here on NSN. Hope you can join us for Senior Day tomorrow for the Continentals in men's lacrosse. And DePauli ready for his 5th inning of work. Nick Nardone, the 3rd baseman up, grounded out his first time at bat. And the pitch in is inside for ball 1. One thing we do not have here is lights, so we take what we got in the way of light here. That one is fouled off. And that got Nardone as he left the box. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Nardone's fine. He'll come right back in the box. That one bounces in for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Next pitch to Nardone is swung on and fouled off. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And when DePauli drops behind, he quickly evens that count back up. It's been the pattern all afternoon here so far. And the pitch, this one's popped up and fouled off. Kind of jammed him on that one. So Nardone has another chance. Immediately gets the sign. Here's the pitch, and that one down to shortstop. Collins grabs it deep in the hole, guns over, and they're not going to get him. I think he's safe. So there you go, the first hit this afternoon for Amherst. As Nardone beats out an infield hit deep in the hole when Collins, and a long throw over to Hazard, couldn't get Nardone. This brings up Kenny. This one popped up and out of play. Arioli Kenny up to bat for his second. Struck out back in the second inning. The left fielder for the Mammoths. Wearing dark tops today. The Continentals in their blues. Blue tops, white pants. And that one is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kenny. Nardone at first base. As DePauli gets the sign and the pitch. And that one's high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Top of the 5th inning, Continentals with a 1-0 lead. As Amherst bats in the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch by DePauli. That one in there for a call strike. Scoreboard says 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kenny. And the pitch, that's down low. So it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, and he walked him. So 2 men on now for Amherst. Here's Chase Henley, first baseman. Struck out in the 3rd inning. To infield. Goes to double play depth. Rosenberg playing it on the grass. And the pitch to Henley. And that one is ball 1. So DePauli in a little bit of trouble here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 men on, nobody out. Next pitch to Henley is swung on and fouled back. And almost a good catch by one of the tailgaters out there behind home plate. But he dropped it. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. DePauli with the pitch. That one swung on, hit out to left field, deep. Going back is Morris. Morris has got a bead on it and makes the catch in fair territory. Down to 3rd base. And he is out at 3rd. Nardone gets gunned out at 3rd base by Morris. 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Morris caught that ball in fair territory. Nardone was going to 3rd base, and they tagged him on at 3rd. So Henley is now at first base. Severino Tachi at the plate for Amherst, and he follows this one back to the screen. Tachi, the catcher for Amherst, grounded out back in the 3rd. So Robert Morris with the arm to get Nardone at 3rd base. Pitch comes in, that one low. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Tachi. Rosenberg applying the tag, and umpire was right there. 1-1 to Tachi. And they throw to first base, and he's back. Tachi taking a good lead at first. Next pitch comes in, and that is ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tachi. 2 outs. Well, they double play by Morris and Rosenberg. And the pitch swung on. This one's popped up to center field. Moving over is Collins, and he'll put it away for out number 3. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. There was 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Continentals 1, Amherst nothing here on NSN. And we are back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College. Gene Conti here on the Northeast Sports Network. Bringing you New England College. New England Small College Athletic Conference action. Baseball action from the NESCAC. Continentals from the West Division at 0-5 so far this season. And also in the West Division is Amherst with a 4-2 mark. So far, no runs, 1 hit, no errors for Amherst. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Continentals. And they bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the first man up is Robert Morris, who made that spectacular play. A great catch out in left field and guns out Nardone at third base in the bottom of the top of the 5th inning. So Morris, Collins, and Collins do up this inning for the Continentals.
Now pitching for Amherst, number 51, Sam Schneider.
And we've got a new pitcher.
The left fielder, number 16, Robert Morris.
Amherst will bring on Sam Schneider, the junior left-hander from Concordia, California. So Fisher's day is done. And the first pitch by Schneider is strike 1. Next pitch is hit out to right field. Back goes, and he can't get it. Hardin made a stab for it. On his way to third base is Morris, and he'll be there sliding in with a triple. So Hardin went back. He got it in his glove, but it bounced out. And Morris on third base with a 3-base hit brings up Chris Collins, who is 2 for 2 so far, a single and a double. That double back in the 3rd inning looked like it was just going to be a base hit, but Collins kept running and made it to second base with no problem. So Schneider, his pitch, he's a side armor. First pitch to Chris Collins is outside for ball 1. So Morris on third, having a heck of a game so far today for the Continentals. The pitch is swung on and fouled back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Schneider in relief of Drew Fisher. Nobody out. Morris on third. The pitch is swung on and missed by Collins. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the side armor Schneider is ready. And the pitch swung on and up the middle for a base hit. Hit number 3 for Chris Collins. And a run batted in. It's 2-0 Continentals.
Number 3, Kenny Collins.
This brings up Kenny Collins. Over 2 so far in today's game. So Morris scores from third base on the single. 2-0 Continentals. And Schneider looks in for his sign from Tachi. And the lefty's ready to go. The pitch. Call ball 1. They've still got the 2-2 lineup count up there from the last player. And the pitch, that one's in for a call strike. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Kenny Collins. Of course, Chris Collins is always a threat to steal at first. As Kenny steps back in. Chris takes the lead off of first base. And the pitch, and there goes Collins, and it's fouled off as the hit and run was on. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Kenny Collins as Chris goes back to first base. Schneider 80, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So the first strikeout by Schneider. And the first out of the inning brings up the right fielder, Ryan Wolfsburg. Chris Collins at first. And that pitch is in there for ball 1. As Schneider working just as quickly as Fisher did. And Schneider's ready with that. He throws over to first base. They got him picked off, and here's the throw over, and he's out. So Chris Collins gets caught again. And it's 2 down. Nobody on as Collins gets picked off of first base. Well, he was caught leaning as he was stealing. So Schneider with the great move to first base. So nobody on. And the count 2 balls and no strikes to Wolfsburg. The pitch, that's in there for a call strike. 2-1. No doubt Collins was going, but they read that very well and threw down to second base, and he was out. And now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Wolfsburg. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch is swung on and drilled out to right field for a base hit. So Wolfsburg down to first. With the 6th hit of the afternoon for the Continentals, brings up first baseman Andrew Hauser. Hauser struck out looking in the first and grounded out back in the 3rd inning. As Sam Schneider gets ready to go on the mound for the Mammoths, and the pitch. That one up high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Hauser. Catcher Brett Mealy waits on deck. Schneider into the windup, and the pitch. That one's in for call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hauser with Ryan Wolfsburg at first. 2 outs. And the pitch is swung on and hit out to center field. It drops right in front of the center fielder, Thanopoulos. Here's the play at the play as they throw in, and he is safe. So Wolfsburg scores from first base, and Hauser on second.
Now batting for Hamilton, the catcher, number 5, Brett Mealy.
So it dropped right in front of Thanopoulos. He reacted kind of slowly, got the ball, threw it into play, and Wolfsburg has scored. And down to second base goes Hauser. 7th hit for the Continentals, and they lead 3-0. Now it's Brett Mealy, the catcher. And it's down low for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes to Brett Mealy. Mealy has walked and he has a single. That one back in the 4th. Next pitch in is out of the strike zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Sam Schneider in relief of Drew Fisher. And Hauser at second base after driving in that run. And the pitch. That went in there for a call strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Brett Mealy. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 runs in for the Continentals. Pitch is swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mealy. Schneider, the lefty, ready. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So they scored 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After 5, the Hamilton College Continentals 3, Amherst Mammoths nothing here on NSN. Top of the 6th inning here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex. Hamilton College in Clinton, New York. Overcast day. Rain last night and this morning. It stopped around noontime, hoping for clearing skies, but we had a little bit of sunshine, but that's faded behind the clouds again. About 60 degrees, a little breeze blowing across the field. Continentals with a 3-0 lead on the Mammoths. Is Dan DePauli ready to go for inning number 6 here, top of the 6th inning. It'll be Hardin, Steinhorn, and Roberson for the Mammoths. Doubleheader tomorrow starting at noon. If you can't make it out here with the rest of the tailgaters, they're having a lot of fun up back there. Coverage begins at 11:50 tomorrow right here on NSN. As the right fielder Ryan Hardin steps in. He was the first and only base runner for the Mammoths. Reached on an error back in the 3rd inning. And the pitch is swung on, chopped up to the mound. A toss over to Hauser. Easy play there for DePauli for out number 1.
Now batting for Amherst, the second baseman, number 1, Max Steinhorn.
Brings up the second baseman, number 1, Max Steinhorn. Steinhorn 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. As DePauli is ready with the pitch. And that's outside for ball 1. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Continentals. No runs, 1 hit for the Mammoths. And that one is low for ball 2. 2-0 to Steinhorn. Next pitch in is outside. And now it's 3-0 to Steinhorn. DePauli with 4 strikeouts this afternoon. And Steinhorn taking all the way. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Roberson on deck for the Mammoths. And the pitch, and that one hit him.
Now batting for Amherst, the shortstop number 4, Harry Roberson.
So Harry Roberson, the shortstop, comes up as Steinhorn goes over to first base. It looked like it hit him. It might have been just way inside because he didn't really flinch or anything. Here's the next pitch, and it's hammered down to short. Collins over to second Northrup. Back to Hauser for a double play. And the side is retired. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Continentals with a 3-0 lead over Amherst here on NSN. So Sam Schneider, the lefty side armor, comes out for his 2nd inning of work. He replaced Drew Fisher in the 5th inning. Continentals will have Jordan Northrup up, Ian Nish, and Dean Rosenberg, as they have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nice crowd on hand this afternoon. The baseball team participating in the Go for the Goal fundraising initiative during the weekend's games. The organization Go for Goal raises money and awareness in support of pediatric cancer research. In the games this weekend against Amherst College, the Continentals will lace up for pediatric cancer awareness wearing specially made gold shoelaces. Money from the purchase of the laces will be donated to Go for the Goal's research efforts. Donations will be accepted during the game today and the doubleheader tomorrow. And the pitch to Northrup is swung on and missed. It's no balls and 2 strikes to the Continental second baseman. And Schneider ready to pitch. And that one up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Northrup is swung on. Schneider off the mound will go to first base, and they'll get him. As Henley covers at first.
Now batting for Hamilton, the designated hitter number 32, Ian Nish.
Your designated hitter, Ian Nish, for his 3rd at bats this afternoon. So 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Schneider looks in for his sign and delivers. Strike 1, swing and strike there by Nish. Next pitch. That one bounces in for ball 1. Ian Nish picked When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin as his walk-up music. Must have thought about the rain this morning. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nish. 1 out here in the 6th, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Schneider getting the sign, ready to work. Pitch, oh, and that hit him. Well, if it didn't hit him, it was really high and tight inside. It sure looked like it hit him. It might have hit the bat. But the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think he just got out of the way. Next pitch in is way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 1 way inside, 1 way outside by Schneider. Thought for sure that hit him. But Nish still in there. And here's the pitch. And that one's high. And Nish works out the walk. They'll bring up third baseman Dean Rosenberg.
24, Dean Rosenberg.
Has a run batted in this afternoon. Got that back in the second inning. A sacrifice fly. And here's the pitch. As swung on and fouled off. One strike to Rosenberg. So Nish on first. Schneider's into the windup. The pitch. Swung on this one, foul back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes now to Dean Rosenberg. And the breeze kicking up a little bit. They throw over to first base, and Nish is back. Schneider's got a nice move to first. And next pitch in is up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dean Rosenberg. Nish worked out a walk. Next pitch is swung on and foul back again by Rosenberg. So Schneider gets the sign from Tachi. He's in the windup. They pitch, and that one is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 6th. Continental's up 3-0. 3-game series with Amherst. And Schneider's next pitch. Swung on down to short. Deep in the hole, and they will not even try it. As Roberson knew he would not get Rosenberg. And that the 8th hit for the Continentals.
For Hamilton, the left fielder, number 16, Robert Morris.
Comes Robert Morris, last time up, a triple to start off the bottom of the 5th. So now 2 on and 1 out. And the pitch is way inside to Robert Morris for ball 1. Nish at second. Rosenberg at first. And the pitch. And that one comes in for a call strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Morris. And pinch runner coming in for Nish. It is number 11,
Pitch running for Hamilton, number 11,
John Carey. Sophomore from San Francisco, California, pitch running for Nish. Count to Morris is 1 ball, 1 strike. Schneider into the windup now. And he steps off as he looks back. Carey there now at second base. And the pitch in, swung on and missed by Morris. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. John Carey, spelled with a C, C-A-R-E-Y. No relation to John Kerry, the former Secretary of State. Spelled it with a K. Here's the pitch, and that one is called strike 3. Down goes Morris looking. And there's 2 down.
shortstop, number 6, Chris Collins.
Brings up Chris Collins. Collins with 3 hits, an RBI, and has been caught stealing twice, which is the real headline to me. Collins, the shortstop for the Continentals, and the pitch is outside for ball one. So Carey, the pinch runner for Nish, is at second base. And Rosenberg at first. And the pitch to Collins. And that one is inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Carey taking a little bit of lead. Now there he goes, a little bit further off the bag. Pitch by Schneider. And that one's outside. So Schneider 1 pitch away from loading up the bases. They assume Collins will be taken all the way here. Schneider looks back to second. Now the pitch. And that one's in for a call strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Continentals up 3-0. They have runners at first and second. Schneider ready. And once again he steps off on a motion towards second base. And here's the pitch. And it's ball 4. So Collins on for the 4th time in the game. Here comes Kenny Collins, the center fielder. He's over 3. So the base is loaded, 2 outs. And head coach Brian Ham for Amherst in his 8th season comes out to talk to Schneider. I believe there was a man warming up in the Amherst bullpen as the rest of the infield, and they break up the conference. And Schneider will continue. Left-handed batter Kenny Collins steps in against the left-handed Schneider. He's ready, Schneider is, and the pitch is ball 1 to Kenny Collins. Bases full of Continentals here in the bottom of the 6th. Hey, Schneider gets the sign. A little bit more time now as Collins steps out. Collins back in. And Schneider is ready with the pitch. That one up high, 2 balls and no strikes to Collins. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Continentals. No runs, 1 hit for the Mammoths. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. 2 balls, no strikes to Kenny Collins, and that one is a call strike, 2-1. Starting off the weekend here, this 3-game series, noon doubleheader tomorrow. As Schneider goes into the windup, and the pitch is swung on up to the third base side. He's got some room, and he puts it away as Nardone grabs it for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on base. We go to the 7th inning. The Continentals with a 3-0 lead over Amherst here on NSN. We go to the 7th inning here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex here at Hamilton College. Across the first base side is the softball field. And here this beautiful stadium just completed last fall. And it is very nice. All artificial surface, including the infield and the warning tracks. And, of course, those lines that they never have to put down anymore. Here's Yanni Thanopoulos, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 today. Came in batting .400. That's 4th in the NESCAC. So his average went down a little bit, and the first pitch in by DePauli hits him. So Thanopoulos takes first base.
Now batting for Amherst, the designated hitter number 16, Anthony Spina.
As the curveball got away from DePauli. Anthony Spina, the designated hitter, struck out twice so far in today's game. Top of the 7th inning, 3-0 Continentals. One man on as that next pitch from DePauli comes bouncing in low for ball 1. And DePauli, before he pitches, will get a visit at the mound from catcher Mealy, Dean Rosenberg also, and Coach Burns. Tim Burns, 11th year here at Hamilton College. He is absolutely thrilled with the brand new home here, as the rest of the players are as well. And they talk quickly to DePauli, and he'll stay in. So far, no action down in the Continental bullpen. So Spina at the plate, and that one is high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The designated hitter for Amherst, Thanopoulos on first. The pitch is swung on, hit down the third baseline foul. The fence kind of juts out a little bit past third base. Two balls, one strike to Spina. DePauli ready to pitch. That one's up high. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Thanopoulos on first. He was hit by a pitch. And 3 balls, 1 strike to Spina. The pitch in is swung on and fouled off. So it's full count now, 3-2. As Spina definitely swung at strike or at ball 4 right there. Low pitch. That curveball fooled him. And DePauli's ready. And the pitch swung on, hit out to right field. And you're not going to get to it. That is a fair ball as Wolfsburg has to chase it down all the way to third base. Goes Thanopoulos, and Spina's on second with a double. So the first extra base hit of the afternoon for Amherst. As Nick Nardone, the third baseman, comes in. Spina goes back to second base. Thanopoulos on third. There's nobody out here, top of the 7th inning. And now a little action down there in the Continental bullpen. Tom Riley gets up to start throwing. Pitch by DePauli. He's popped up center field. Racing in is Collins, and he'll make the catch in shallow center field. And no advance by the runners. So there's one man down.
Now batting for Amherst, the right fielder number 30, Ariel Kenny.
Arioli Kenny, the left fielder, comes to bat. Walked his last time up. So Thanopoulos still at third base. Spina is on second. And Kenny at the plate. And the pitch by DePauli is up high for ball one. So Amherst threatening for the first time. Well, actually the second time in the game. They did have a runner on third base, which was eliminated with a great play there. Next pitch in is low. 2 balls, no strikes to Kenny. DePauli working hard to get out of this jam. And the pitch is again up high. It's 3-0. So DePauli 1 pitch away from loading up the bases. And here's the pitch. And now waiting for a call strike. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Paulie bounces one in. That's ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Now batting for Amherst, the first baseman, number 25, Chase Henley.
Here comes Chase Henley, the first baseman. So DePauli in a jam here with 1 out. Bases loaded. Henley at the plate as Riley continues to warm up in the Continental bullpen. DePauli and then a windup. And that's low for ball 1. Amherst making a lot of noise in their dugout. Pitch to Henley is swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is again foul back, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Henley. First baseman for the Mammoths. Bases are loaded. Thanopoulos down at third base. Spina is at second. And Kenny at first. And the pitch by DePauli is swung on. And this one down the right field line goes out of play. As Wolfsburg made a stab at it, but over the fence. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Henley. And the pitch is an off-speed pitch. Comes in high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases full of Mammoths here in the top of the 7th inning. 3-0 Continentals. And here's the pitch. And that's up high. It's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's no place to put Henley. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Henley goes down on strikes. There's 2 outs.
Now batting for Amherst, the catcher, number 10,
Severino Tachi, the catcher, comes up with the bases loaded and 2 men out now. As DePauli with his 5th strikeout there. He gets a sign from Mealy and the pitch. And that pitch was right in there. I think it was called strike 1. Haven't changed the scoreboard. Yes, strike 1. Next pitch in is 1 ball, 1 strike. That one high, 1-1. As Morris out in left field communicates something to shortstop Collins, and the pitch is down low. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Tachi. Top of the 7th inning as Amherst threatens here. The pitch. And that one is a little outside. Ball 3, 3-1. So Amherst laying off a little bit, making DePauli work. 3 balls, 1 strike to Tachi. And here's the pitch. Call ball 4. They walked him in. So run scores there for Amherst. Their first run of the game. And they still have 2 hits. No hits in this inning. Spina, I believe, had reached on a hit, and that'll be all for Dan DePauli. So DePauli went 6 2/3 inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. And coming in relief now is Tom Riley, the first-year player, left-hander from St. James, New York. And he will pitch to Ryan Hardin, the right fielder, with the bases loaded. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Doubleheader tomorrow at noon right here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex. Hope we see a little bit of sunshine. No lights here. And you really can't tell from the high definition camera, but it is a little bit darker. And no sign of the overcast breaking up here tonight. And a little bit more of a breeze kicking up as it now is blowing out. So the left-hander Riley ready to work to Ryan Hardin, the right fielder. Hardin reached on an error and grounded out so far in the game. Bases still loaded. 2 outs here. And Riley is set, and the pitch is up high for ball 1. Bases jammed here. Top of the 7th, 1 run in. And the pitch, that one's up high. 2 balls, no strikes. As the wind starts to really kick up now. And the pitch by Riley. That's in there for a call strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hardin. Next pitch in is in there for a call strike. So count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hardin with the bases loaded, 2 outs. 3-1 Continentals lead. And the pitch swung on and missed by Hardin. And the side is retired. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors. 3 men are left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Continentals with a 3-1 lead over Amherst here on NSN. Gene Conti back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College. Sam Schneider still on the mound for the Mammoths. He came in relief of Dean Fisher, Drew Fisher, back in the 5th inning. Continentals will send up Ryan Wolfsburg, Hauser, and Brett Mealy as they hold on to their 3-1 lead. Here's right fielder Ryan Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg has a hit this afternoon. And the first pitch is swung on and foul back. So it's 1 strike to Ryan Wolfsburg. Schneider into his windup, and the pitch is swung on, and this one's fouled off to the right side. No balls, 2 strikes to Wolfsburg. And the pitch is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind definitely has picked up. And it's cooled off a little bit here. Next pitch is swung on and fouled off to the first base side again, out of play. So 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Hamilton. 1 run, I think it's 3 hits for Amherst, not 2 like the scoreboard says, but I believe they got a hit back in the last inning to make it 3. Score is 3-1, bottom of the 7th. Continentals up to bat. And Wolfsburg drives one out to center field. Thanopoulos comes in and makes the catch. That'll bring up first baseman Andrew Hauser. Hauser has a hit and an RBI today. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Schneider in the windup, and that one's outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Hauser. Brett Mealy on deck. Next pitch in is in there for strike 1. Next pitch swung on and missed by Hauser. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schneider in relief of Fisher for the Mammoths. And the next pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Hauser goes down on strikes. 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th. Brings up catcher Brett Mealy. Mealy walked, had a hit in the 4th inning, also struck out his last time up. Pitch by Schneider is outside, ball 1. Temperature seems to have dropped about 5 degrees here in the last few minutes with the wind kicking up. No sunshine as the overcast is pretty thick. And next pitch is outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Brett Mealy. And so far nobody throwing in the Amherst dugout. Next pitch by Schneider is swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Schneider came in relief in the 5th inning. He's pretty much found his groove here. And here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brett Mealy, the catcher, with 2 outs here. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up to the right side. They chase after, but it drops in for a foul ball. Kind of in no man's land over there. Count remains 2-2. as Mealy goes back. One kind of changes direction going across the field now. Schneider back on the mound, and here's the pitch. Swung on, down to first base. Easy play there for Hardin to retire the sides. No runs, no hits. No errors, nobody left on base. We played 7. It's Hamilton 3, Amherst 1 here on NSN. Left-hander Tom Riley starting his second inning of relief here for the Continentals. They have a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. And it'll be the top of the order for Amherst. Max Steinhorn, Harry Roberson, and Yanni Thanopoulos due up. Men's lacrosse team will have their senior day tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Steuben Field as they take on Trinity to end the season. Hope you can join us for that game right here on NSN at 12:50. And more baseball tomorrow at noon, 11:50 to start time here on NSN for Amherst and the Continentals.
Leading off the inning for Amherst, the second baseman, number 1, Max Steinhorn.
Here comes Max Steinhorn. Hit by pitches last time up, and the pitch to Steinhorn is up high for ball 1. Tom Riley, the left-hander, ready on the mound with a pitch, and that's up high for two balls and no strikes to Steinhorn. Next pitch in, and that one drops in for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Steinhorn, second baseman. And that one, a little outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. He walked him. So Steinhorn works out the walk.
Now batting for Amherst,
Comes the shortstop, Harry Roberson. Roberson hit into a double play to end the 6th inning. Next pitch. The first pitch in for ball 1, and Brett Mealy goes out to talk to Riley. Having trouble finding the strike zone here in the top of the 8th. Mealy goes back behind the plate, and Roberson ready. And so is Riley. There's the pitch. Once again, outside. 2 balls, 1 no strikes to Roberson. Steinhorn on first. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Next pitch in. The count is full now, 2-2. Next pitch. Now the count is 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Roberson. Steinhorn on first. Pitch by Riley. So on this one's foul back. It is going to be very difficult to pick that ball out of this gray sky. Deep overcast. Thanopolis for the Amherst Mammoths has been having some trouble out in center field today. Pitched by Riley. Swung on, hit down to short. Collins scoops up, throws to first base, and they got him at first.
Now batting for Amherst, the center fielder number 6.
Down to second base goes Max Steinhorn. That'll bring up Yanni Thanopoulos, the center fielder. Thanopoulos is 0 for 2, and he was hit by a pitch back in the 7th inning. And the pitch swung on and popped foul for strike 1 to Thanopoulos. One out. Steinhorn on second. Top of the 8th inning, 3-1 Continentals lead. Pitched by Riley. And that one is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Thanopoulos. Next pitch in. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Northrop trying to chase Steinhorn back to second base, and that pitch comes in high. It's 3-1 now to the Amherst center fielder. As Riley gets ready. And the pitch. And one swung out to the right side, and it goes out of play into the bullpen. Now the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yanni Thanopoulos. Came into the game hitting an even .400. That's gone down just a little bit, being 0 for 2. As the wind kicks up again, it's blowing out now. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Out to right field, and that's a base hit. Coming in to score was Steinhorn from second base, and it's 3-2 Continentals. So Thanopoulos with an RBI single. They'll bring up the designated hitter, Anthony Spina. Spina struck out twice and got a hit back in the 7th inning. I don't think it's counting as a hit because they only have 3 up there on the board, and Thanopoulos just got officially, which is the 3rd hit. Pitched into Spina is ball 1. Next pitch is outside again for 2 balls and no strikes to Spina. Action down there in the Continental bullpen. Brett Sandford up and throwing. Next pitch in is a call strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's 1 man out here. 1 run in for Amherst. 3-2 in the top of the 8th inning. Thanopoulos on first. And they throw over. Thanopoulos is back. Two balls, 1 strike to Spina. As Riley's set. And throws over again. Thanopoulos is back. Thanopoulos taking his lead again. And Riley's pitch is up high. It's 3-1 to Spina. Riley ready again. Swung on, and this one's fouled off to the third base side. So the count is full, 3-2 on Anthony Spina. As Thanopoulos goes back to first. Riley set out there. And the pitch. They appeal, and they call strike 3. First base umpire punches out Spina for out number 2.
Now batting for Amherst, the third baseman, number 6, Nick Nardone.
Here comes Nick Nardone, the third baseman. He flied out his last time up. So Riley trying to limit the damage here. Thanopoulos first on first. 1 run in here in the top of the 8th inning. And Nardone, the third baseman, ready. First pitch in there is a call strike 1 for Riley. Some action down in the Amherst bullpen as well. Next pitch by Riley. That one is up high. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nardone. Next pitch by Riley. That one in for a call strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Nardone. Thanopoulos taking his lead off of first base. 2 down here in the top of the 8th. And the pitch. They throw down to first, second base, and he is safe. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes, so Thanopoulos steals second. The count now 2-2 on Nardone. Here's Riley's pitch. It's swung on out to left field. Morris fading back and has it for out number 3. So in the inning, 1 run. They had 1 hit. No errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Our score, Hamilton 3, Amherst 2 here on NSN. Gene Conti back here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex at Hamilton College. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Continentals. 2 runs, 3 hits for Amherst. Jordan Northrup due up to. It is the second baseman Northrup. Ian Nish, of course, was replaced by Carey as a pinch runner, so I think Carey will be up next, then followed by Dean Rosenberg. We'll see what Coach Burns does here in the bottom of the 8th. And the pitch by Schneider swung on and missed by Northrup. Northrup a walk, sacrifice, and a ground out in the game. And pitch by Schneider. That one's way outside. As Tachi had a reach for that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Northrup. Second base for the Continentals. And the pitch. That one bounces and skips to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike. Schneider came in relief for Fisher back in the 5th inning. And the pitch. is swung on, and this one is going to be fouled off. A place you should not park. Heard something go clunk. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is swung on. And this one out to right field. That's Harden, and he makes the catch. So 1 man down here in the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting for Hamilton, pinch hitter number 21, David Braverman.
Pinch hitter is number 21, David Braverman, the sophomore. Braverman from Millington, New Jersey. As the pitcher continues to warm up in the Amherst bullpen, also number 35 up and throwing, Justin Schermacher for the Continentals. Oh, and 1 to Braverman. Next pitch in is a call strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes as Schneider gets ahead quickly on Braverman. And the next pitch, that one bounces in for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Braverman. Pinch hitting here in the top or the bottom of the 8th inning for the Continentals. And the pitch by Schneider is swung on and missed. So Braverman goes down on strikes. That'll bring up third baseman Dean Rosenberg. Hitting an RBI in today's game for Rosenberg. As Rosenberg steps up. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-2 our score. Hamilton on top. Doubleheader tomorrow at noon. Here's the pitch by Schneider. That's swung on and fouled back. Quick strike on Rosenberg. And next pitch in. And that one in for call strike 2. So 0-2 now to Dean Rosenberg. As Schneider's ready to go already. Here's the pitch. That one's up high for ball 1. Schneider. Quick pace. Here's the pitch. That's one swung on and fouled off. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rosenberg. As Robert Morris waits for a chance on deck. Pitch is swung on and fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Next pitch is swung on, and this one again fouled off. So Rosenberg hangs in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Schneider with the pitch. And that one is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rosenberg. Pitch by Schneider is swung on and again fouled off to the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Continentals with a 3-2 lead over the Mammoths of Amherst. And the pitch is swung on down to short. Over to first base, and they do get him. As Roberson tosses over to Henley. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the 9th inning with the Continentals up 3-2 here on NSN. back here for the top of the ninth inning. And it's got number 35 coming into pitch. It is not.
Pitch for Hamilton, number 35, Finley O'Hara.
Aha, now we found out the mystery. It's Finley O'Hara. O'Hara usually wears number 10. So Finley O'Hara coming in relief here. Of Tom Riley, who was in relief of DePauli. Finley O'Hara's a senior from Cranston, Rhode Island. He tried to hammer this one down for the Continentals as the Continentals try for their first NESCAC West win this season. So far 0-4, and Amherst at 4-2 in the NESCAC West. So Finley O'Hara taking his warm-ups. Due up here for Amherst is Kinney, the left fielder, also Henley and Tachi, the catcher, as they try to stay alive here as we reach the top of the ninth inning. Is a cold breeze a-blowing now across the field. A dreary-looking day for sure, but the rain is nowhere to be found, thank goodness. So Finley O'Hara, a few more warm-up tosses for him, as there was no 35 on the roster, and the umpires were looking around for a number. Here comes Kenny for the Mammoths here. Top of the ninth inning. And Finley O'Hara ready to go on the mound for the Continentals. Right-handed pitcher. And his first pitch is ball one, back to the backstop. Kenny walked his last time up. And the pitch, and that one again, back to the backstop. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. Looks in for Mealy for the sign. Here's the pitch by O'Hara. And this one driven out to center field, and it's going to drop in and get by the center fielder. Collins going to third base. Here's the throw, and he's safe at third base. So Kenny with a triple to start off the top of the ninth for Amherst. Kenny Collins dove for it, went back to the wall. And this will bring up Chase Henley, the first baseman. Pitch as O'Hara, well, they get an extra ball there for the umpires. So Henley up, a triple for Kenny, the 4th hit for Amherst. The pitch, and that one is outside for ball one. 3-2 the score, nobody out, man on third base for Amherst. O'Hara's next pitch, and that one's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Brett Sanford up in the Continental bullpen quickly. Here's a pitch by O'Hara. Swung on, hit down to second base. Bobbles the ball, does Northrup. And we're all tied up at 3 apiece. It's probably an error on Northrup, and it is. So a run in. We're all tied at 3 here in the top of the 9th inning. Severino Tachi up for the Mammoths, with Henley on at first base. Certainly not the best of starts for Finley O'Hara here in relief. Tachi ready at the plate. Finley O'Hara taking a little bit more time out there on the mound. 3-3 our score here now in the top of the 9th inning, with Amherst still up and nobody out. Here's the pitch. He tries to bunt it. It's popped up down the first base side. And he is out at first base. They tagged him out.
Now batting for Amherst, the left fielder, number 12, Ryan Harden.
So the sacrifice worked, such as it was, kind of dropped in there, and they tagged him out. Then he fell down, and then he ran to first base, but he was out. So Henley now down to second base. And the right fielder Harden at the plate. O'Hara, a pitch. And that one in for call strike 1. So 1 run is in. There's 1 out. 1 man on. This pitch by O'Hara is swung on and missed. Feeling a little raindrops here. No balls and 2 strikes to Harden. And O'Hara ready to pitch, but stepping out was Harden. And Harden's back in. O'Hara into the windup, and the pitch swung on. O'Hara grabs it off the mound. He'll go to first base, and they get him there. So that's 2 outs, and down to third base goes Henley. Back to the top of the order for Max Steinhorn. He walked his last time up. Amherst tied here in the top of the 9th inning. It's 3-3. 2 men out now. And Henley at third base. As Finley O'Hara into the windup and the pitch, and that one is outside for ball 1. O'Hara's ready, and the pitch is swung on and hit down. A base hit, and Amherst will take the lead. Scoring is Henley from third base as Max Steinhorn singles the go-ahead run. It's 4-3 Amherst. So the shortstop Harry Roberson up next, as Amherst is battled back to take the lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Roberson 0 for 4 so far in the game. And that went in for call strike 1. So 2 runs in here in the top of the 9th. Amherst with a 4-3 lead. And O'Hara pitching to Roberson. Here's the pitch. And that one's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Amherst shortstop. O'Hara into that long set, and the windup and the pitch is popped up and fouled off. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Steinhorn's at first. Harrell looks back at Steinhorn. And the pitch is swung on and hit out to center field. Collins there to put it away for out number 3. But the damage done, 2 runs.
Amherst scores 2 runs off
2 hits, 1 error, and there was 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's Amherst 4, Continentals 3 here on NSN. And Gene Conti here, ready for the bottom of the 9th inning for the Continentals. They trail now 4-3. And Sam Schneider, who came in relief for Fisher, may get the win here, as he now has staked to a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 9th inning, and he has retired the last 6 in a row. Make that 7 in a row. So Morris, Collins, and Collins do up this inning for the Continentals.
Leading off the inning for Hamilton, the left fielder number 16, Robert Morris.
Robert Morris steps up with Schneider still on the mound. Continentals trail here in the bottom of the 9th, 4-3. One time they led 3-0. Here's the pitch. And that one outside for ball 1. A little bit of raindrops starting to fall here at the Loop Road Softball Baseball Complex. Next pitch swung on and missed by Morris. He is 1 for 3. Next pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch by Schneider is swung on and missed. 2-2. Robert Morris. Schneider has been strong and getting stronger the last few innings. And the next pitch in is low. That'll run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. It has definitely gotten colder since the first pitch, down to about 50 degrees, I would figure. And the next pitch by Schneider is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Morris goes down on strikes. That'll bring up the top of the order. Chris Collins, center, the shortstop.
Now batting for Hamilton, number 6, Chris Collins.
Collins is 3 for 3 today, and he worked out a walk. Has a run batted in. Only bad day he's had is the fact that he was thrown out twice stealing. That one is swung on over to the right side, but the wind's going to take this one out of play. Count now is no balls, 2 strikes to Chris Collins. As Schneider is ready there on the mound, and his pitch is swung on down to short. They throw over to first, a little high, and they still get him. No, I think he got pulled off of first base. So Collins is safe at first base. Roberson threw over to Henley, and Henley had a kind of jump up in the air, a little high throw, and I pulled him off the bag. So here comes Kenny Collins. So an infield hit there for Chris Collins, and brings up Kenny. And the pitch by Schneider as he squares the bunt. And that one's outside, ball one. Amherst 4, Continentals 3, bottom of the ninth inning. 1 man on, 1 man out for the Continentals. Kenny Collins at the plate. He squares the bunt. It's popped up, and it out of play. Back to the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Kenny Collins. Ryan Wolfsburg is on deck. Next pitch in for a call strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Kenny Collins. Schneider ready with the pitch. That one bounces in. Good stop there by Tachi. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Chris Collins at first. Kenny Collins at the plate. And Schneider ready to pitch. That off speed pitch is high. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Continentals trail 4-3, bottom of the ninth inning. Schneider ready again. And the pitch swung on, and there's a base hit. Stopping at second base is Chris Collins. So first and second now with 1 out, and brings up Ryan Wolfsburg. So Tachi goes out to talk to Schneider. So far, the Collins family's collected 5 hits on the afternoon. 4 for Chris. And Kenny got one right there. So Wolfsburg comes up. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. And here comes the manager, Brian Ham, out. See if they're going to make a pitching change here. So far, everybody, the entire infield surrounding Schneider, talking with the coach. And Coach Burns takes this opportunity to talk to his base runners as the umpire trots out and asks, well, what's up, guys? And it looks like Schneider is going to come out of the game, and he is. So Sam Schneider, a great effort from him to keep the Mammoths in the game. He's got 1 out here in the top of the ninth inning at 2 on. A relief pitcher coming in for Amherst. We'll take a little short break and be right back here on NSN. And we're back at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex. Number 35, Chris Baldy, the senior right-handed pitcher from Mahaw, New Jersey, comes in relief of Sam Schneider here in the bottom of the ninth inning. As Amherst trying to hold on to their 4-3 lead. Continentals have the Collins brothers, Chris on second, Kenny on first, and Ryan Wolfsburg will be the next batter for the Continentals. Baldy will be the third pitcher of the afternoon for Amherst. As they're trying to hold on here, as they were down at 1.3 to nothing, scoring 2 in the top of the ninth inning to take the lead. And Baldy ready out there. So here is Ryan Wolfsburg. Strong breeze blowing across the field now from out in the outfield right to the first base side. And Baldy is ready to go with his first pitch. And that one is low for ball one. Next pitch by Baldy is in for a strike. 1-1 to Ryan Wolfsburg. Baldy looks in for the sign from Tachi. And here's the pitch. Collins down at third base. He's going to make it. Double steal by the Continentals. They have runners at second and third. One out. And the count 2-1 now on Wolfsburg. So the speedy Collins is on base for the Continentals. Wolfsburg steps out, gets a sign. And Baldy ready on the mound. The pitch. Inside. Ball 3. 3-1 to Wolfsburg. They might put him on intentionally here. And they do. So it's ball 4. Bases loaded with 1 out.
Now batting for Hamilton, the first baseman, number 13, Andrew Hauser.
Here comes Andrew Hauser, your first baseman for the Continentals. Bases loaded. Infield at double play depth here with the bases loaded. Hauser has a hit and an RBI in today's game. Pitch by Baldy is low, ball 1. Collins, and Wolfsburg on the bags for the Continentals. There's 1 man out. Here's the pitch by Baldy. That one high. In to score comes Collins, and we're all tied up at 4. So wild pitch, and the Continentals score. It's all tied up at 4 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Baldy's pitch was way high. It's 2-0 now to Hauser. So now it's Kenny Collins at third base and Wolfsburg down at second. 2-0 to Hauser. And they might walk him intentionally as well. They are. A pitch out. So now it's 3-0. And they will load the bases once again. And there is ball 4. So Hauser goes down the first base. Bases loaded, 1 out. Amherst still trying to get the double play to get out of this inning and send it to extra innings. It'll bring up catcher Brett Mealy. So Baldy in with the bases loaded, 1 out. And here's Brett Mealy. First pitch by Baldy. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Infield, the outfield playing well in. Baldy ready with a 1-strike count on Mealy. Next pitch swung on down to second base. And it's over. The Continentals win in the 9th inning. Brett Mealy with a single and a run batted in, and they mob Brett Mealy. So the Continentals get their first win in the NESCAC West. They're 1-4 as Amherst drops to 4-3. Your final: Hamilton 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Amherst 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Doubleheader tomorrow right here at the Loop Road Baseball Softball Complex.